You now tuned in to the Gumptown Podcast. I'm your boy Doug B. We ain't got nothing to talk about, but we got something to talk about. Let's go. Good people. Welcome back to the Gumptown Podcast, episode 97. I'm your boy Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving this podcast a shot. Today's guest is the founder and owner of NyNi Candles. I'm looking forward to this conversation. I'm sure we'll all be inspired by her story. Let's chop it up with Nina Taylor. Nina, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm glad to hear that. All is well on my end, too. First things first, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me a few minutes. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, we're here to talk about NyNi Candles. But before we talk about the business, let's get to know the woman behind the brand. What's your story?
Okay. I started making candles a year ago. So I've been in business a full year as of May 9th. Yay. And I'm super excited about that. I'm born and raised in Montgomery. I'm a Montgomery native, and I decided to making candles was a hobby for me first, and then it just turned into a business. And it's really, I don't even really feel like it's a business. It's still more like a hobby to me because I love making every single candle. So it's absolutely fantastic.
Yes, ma'am. That's good stuff. So born and raised in the Gump. What high school did you graduate from?
I graduated from Robert E. Lee High School, class of 93. And I have one son. He is on the autism spectrum disorder. He's 20 years old. He graduated from Success Unlimited last year. And actually, he is, the name of my business is NyNi Candles. His name is Niles, and my name is Nina. So I took the first two letters in his name and in my name, and I came up with NyNi Candles.
Nice. Very organic way to come up with that business name, because I was going to ask you about that. That's very organic, very natural. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So you graduated from Lee High School, the greatest high school in the city. So I graduated from Lee High School in 2006. So so after high school, did you do any military, college, or you went straight to work?
After high school, I went to cosmetology school. That was my first career. It was John Patterson at the time, and now it's Trenum. And I got a degree in cosmetology, and I worked cosmetology about 15 years. And after that, I moved into the education field, and I became a licensed daycare teacher for Head Start. And then I moved on to other daycare centers in Montgomery before I finally sailed on Montgomery Public Schools, and that's where I am now. I've been there for the past 16 years.
Wow, what a journey. So you went to cosmetology school, then went into business, cosmetology, and then pivoted into the public school system. So what do you enjoy the most about your cosmetology career, and what were some challenges?
Cosmetology, my career in cosmetology actually taught me a lot about people. I'm not going to say I've had a sheltered life. We grew up with both our parents, but it was just kind of we just saw one way of life. Being in public school and in cosmetology school, it gave me the opportunity to see how other people live, how other people act, and how they treated you, how you want to act and how you don't want to act. So it was a lot of life lessons along the way there. And I don't take any of them for granted. They've made me the person I am today. So yes, that's pretty much that on that.
Yes, ma'am. Great experience. Got a chance to work with people. And it sounds like just from the fields that you've been in, that you definitely have a passion for working with people, going from cosmetology into the public school system. And I know that's a daily journey in itself. Every day is its own journey dealing with the public school system.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. So let's talk about your business, NyNi Candles. So what exactly got you into the candle making craft? Like, what introduced you to that?
Boredom, actually. When COVID hit, we had to stay inside. We did nothing. So, I think me, along with everyone else, we did a lot of online shopping. And so I was on the Walmart site one day and I was like, oh, a candle kit. I'll try it. It's only $30. So, I tried it and I poured my first candle and I immediately fell in love with it. It was the interest was so strong. It's like it almost hit me in the head. That's just how strong the interest for it was. And after that, I'm the type of person where if I'm going to do something, I'm going to go all in. So I
Mhm.
want to know what's the best way. So I want to know how you do this. And then of course, I'm going to, on Facebook, I'm going to be follow everyone's page that makes candles.
Right.
And, if I'm going, and then I'm on Pinterest, I'm looking at candles. So doing all that research and looking, and that's how I discovered dessert candles. And that's my specialty. I make candles that smell and look like real desserts and drinks. So, and I'm a crafter anyway. I'm really real crafty. So I love making things and using my hands. So you kind of got to have that. It's almost like if you go into the hair field, you kind of got to have that niche before you get in there. Before you get in there, it's kind of hard to just wake up one day and be like, okay, I'm going to do hair. You kind of got to have that talent before you get in there. And that's the same thing with crafting and candle making and with anything. You gotta kind of have the little niche before you get in there. So, and that because that will make it easier. And I just taught myself. I took candle classes, got certified in some things, and here I am.
Nice. So in the midst of COVID, the pandemic, it was a very uncertain time. It was a very interesting time. I know public school systems, everything was virtual. So like you said, to your point, pretty much being at home and just, being in the house and boredom sparked this idea for you to get into candle making and you went all in, like you said, and it sounds like you said to your point, just being crafty and coming from the cosmetology field, like you have to have a sense of craftsmanship, sense of creativity to work in that field. So it sounds like you transferred a lot of those skills that you learned in cosmetology over to candle making.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. That's what it's all about. So in terms of whenever I have entrepreneurs on the platform like yourself, I like to cover three things. I like to talk about the aha moment, action, audacity. You pretty much already covered your aha moment in the midst of COVID. That's when you first had the idea to start making candles. You took action right away. So in terms you start making candles and in terms of you coming up with a name and getting started in business, how long did it take you to get all of that started after you came up with the idea?
Um, Not long at all. When
Mhm.
I finally realized that I was, hey, I'm gonna turn this into a business, I went through the proper channels downtown. I took a small business entrepreneur course, got that started, and I just been, riding the wave ever since.
Wow, talking about an action taker. Don't waste no time. Don't overthink. Don't overanalyze. Hey, I love it, Nina. Like you get right to it. Like more people, myself included, need to learn from you. Don't be a procrastinator. Just do it. Get to
Exactly. And when I'm 48, when you get to be my age and lived a little bit
it.
and have a relationship with God, you begin to listen more. And truthfully, I'm just going to be frank. If you'd asked me this a year, I mean, what, 2 years ago, I would have told you, I ain't gonna be making no candles because I had no desire to. I
Mhm.
didn't even buy candles like that. I just didn't. So that's how I know that God really has his hand in this. He's really turning things, he's really leading me through this because I didn't have any desire to do it. But little did I know, I found so much joy in doing it. It's easy. I love it. It's not it's like a hobby.
Yes, ma'am. And like to your point, just being obedient to God and just actually stepping out there and getting started. And it sounds like it was just something that just came natural to you. Like it was your gift all along. Like one of many gifts I'm pretty sure you possess being crafty and coming from the field you come from. So hats off to you for being obedient, listening to God.
Yes. exactly, exactly. I have to give all credit to him because even the name came to me in a dream. I know that sounds such like a cliche,
It
but it
don't.
honestly did because
Hmm.
because my last name is Taylor, so it was going to be like Taylor and Company. Well, there are so many Taylor candles. So I was like, nah, that's not gonna work. So
Right.
I wanted something. And my son, I only have one son, and he's just my heart. I love him to death. So I
Hmm.
was trying to think of something, and I did. I had that dream. I was like, Nani. I asked my best friend in Detroit. I was like, "What do you think about that?" She was like, "I don't know, friend." And but you know what? When Like once again, when God puts something on your heart, it doesn't matter what anyone says. So
Hmm.
even though she said that, it didn't deter me or anything because I just knew that was the name. I just knew it was. And it was spelled just like that in the dream. So I was like, there it is.
Yes, ma'am. And that doesn't sound crazy at all. And to be honest with you, a lot of people would think that was crazy and they would overlook that. And all along, that could be their calling. Like you had a dream or you had a vision. And sometimes, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I know I have, but sometimes if you just be still and just sit still, like things will kind of reveal themselves to
Yeah.
you. Not
Yes,
necessarily even business ideas, but just realizations about people, places, or things, or why you are where you are in this season of your life. Like it's just different things. Like when you just sit still and be still and just listen.
absolutely. You're right. Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Absolutely.
yes, ma'am. So that last portion, audacity, sounds like you pretty much. I'm gonna ask this question anyway. I already know the answer to it. It's pretty much to have an idea and to put action behind it, which you did right away. You didn't waste a whole lot of time.
Mhm.
That the portion in between having an idea and actually putting it out there to the world to be praised or criticized, I like to call it audacity. Who or what gave you that courage, that audacity to not only come up with an idea, but to put it out there to the world?
Well, all of my life, I've been an entrepreneur at some point.
Hmm.
Like I said, my first career was cosmetology. Well, believe it or not, when you might be in someone else's salon, but you're paying them booth rent and you're paying your taxes or whatever. That makes you an entrepreneur. That's just
Hmm.
where you work. So when I tell you I've done that, I've done Mary Kay, I've done prepaid legal, I've done this, I've done that. I have that hunger for having a product that I can stand behind and that people enjoy and that people like. And I never found that feeling of audacity when I was pushing somebody else's product. Now, when I'm pushing NyNi Candles,
Hmm.
it's easy. The words, it just rolls off your tongue like butter. It's just easy to promote. It's easy to talk about because I enjoy it so much. A lot of my work career was retail, so
Hmm.
I have that to boost me too. I know how to do a display. I know how to get your attention. I know how to do all that. So um,
Hmm.
I think I got off the question.
No, no, ma'am,
So
no, ma'am. Like pretty much just
okay.
a no, ma'am. Pretty
But
much.
basically
Mhm.
that's where I get it from. It's just my past
Hmm.
and how I really feel about my product.
Yes, ma'am, and that's great. Like pretty much you've taken bits and pieces from your entire career and now you're doing it for yourself. Like you said, you did the Mary Kay, cosmetology, retail. So all of those skills that you learned back then, you're now putting them towards your own business. Like that's
Right.
amazing.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And I know you said you've been in business
Oh,
for a year, and congratulations on that. That's
thank you.
amazing. And to be honest with you, staying consistent and putting the business out there, acting on the idea, and continue to go at it. So, take us back to your first official sale. What was that like? What was that feeling like to see NyNi Candles making its first sale?
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my I,
Hmm.
I literally, I'm like jumping up and down, hollering. I have a twin. I'm calling her. I'm like, girl, they're really buying these candles. And so it was surreal. It was fantastic. It was the best feeling in the world. It
Hmm.
really was because it takes about a good 3 days to produce about half a dozen of my dessert candles. And it takes that while because you've got the layers, the bottom has to dry, and then I put another on there that has to dry. And then we put the imitation looking whipped cream and top it and stuff like that. And that's just the making it. It still has to have 7 days to cure before I can turn it over to a customer in good conscience that is going to do what it's supposed to do, burn and smell and all that good stuff. So I don't know. That's just
Yes, man. That's amazing. Like, hey, just that excitement, like an idea. You made your
right.
first official sale through your own business. You're not paying a booth fee to anybody. It's not through the job. It's your idea. Like, it's your baby. Like, you literally birthed this candle company. You made that first sale. I can only imagine just the level of excitement, like calling your twin sister, like you said, and say, "Hey, it's really happening." Now, that's amazing.
Exactly. And really like being like, dang, all that work, all those days paid off, all those because I hand paid each candle too. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's a lot of work that goes into it. It does.
Yes, ma'am. So you've done great things with the company, and I know great things are coming down the pipeline, which leads to my next portion, vision. What are some of your short-term and long-term goals for the business?
Oh, that's a good question because I think about this every day. Um, Short term, I just want to keep on doing what I'm doing. I enjoy reaching people. I like direct sales. And what I mean by that is I love trade shows. I love a pop-up. I love a Santa. I love stuff like that. So you'll probably see me a lot at things like that. So short term, I want to continue to do more of that, expanding in my name out there. Long term, oh my goodness. I want to make a quality product. I want to keep on being creative. I want to keep on being fresh and I want people to enjoy my product. And if that happens, I think the money and all that other stuff will come. My whole thing is you're enjoying what I do as much as I do.
And yes, ma'am, those are some great goals, both short-term and long-term, and I'm pretty sure all the success you desire, it all come to fruition.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. As we wrap up the podcast, I want to ask $1 million question. I started this podcast to highlight the greatness connected to Montgomery, whether you were born here or lived here for a significant period of your life, be it college, military, or work. You being a
Mhm.
hometown hero, what do you appreciate the most about being from the Gump?
What do I appreciate the most? That's a question. Uh, what do I appreciate the most? I think I appreciate just my family still being here, still having roots here, still being able to call it home.
Mhm.
I am a real big lover of Montgomery. I don't have the desire to move or do anything like that. This is home. I'm happy, I'm comfortable here. Now I will travel and we'll tear the road up a little bit, but
Mhm.
this is home. I'm just comfortable here.
Yes, ma'am. That's good stuff. So, Nina, how can the people connect with you? What are your social media handles and website?
Okay, it's super easy, guys. All my social media handles are NyNi Candles, and that's NYNI Candles. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yes, ma'am.
And I also
Mhm.
have a website. My website is www.nanycandles.com.
Too easy. And of course, I'll put all of that information in the description of the episode. Hey, Nina, thanks again for the conversation. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Good people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumptown Podcast. In the meantime, in between time, y'all know what to do. Be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you. Gone. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your attention. Until next time.